You might want to send me your PDF.
And hit record on that. We're definitely not doing PDFs right now.
Language.
I'm copying and pasting everything you sent me from the last.
No,
text.
it's the line you added in. The grammar is wrong. Now that your first 2 campaign has ended.
And we're live.
Hold on.
Well,
These two are recording.
Yep. Are you recording on the soundboard?
This one, yeah.
Okay, cool.
hey, you know what? These all look terrible though. I cannot hear myself. Oh, there we are. Check, check, check. Hello. Dude, I can't hear myself.
Hey.
I can hear you.
I can't hear you either. I don't know how to fix that. Let me see if I can hear you.
Check, 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 check. No,
Check.
no. Check, 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 check.
You can hear me though, right?
I can hear you.
I can hear you guys. Wait, no.
You can't hear him.
Check, 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 check. I can't hear me. Check, check.
Out there it is. We back. You trying to mute me?
Yeah.
So is this what vertical looks like now, or no?
No, it's because it's just Diana in here. Oh, wait.
Did you push me to the side a little bit?
No, we are not pinned right now.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There we go.
Trace, right on the money.
The man, the myth.
How you doing, sir? Fan-freaking-tastic. Don't hit record quite yet.
What?
I'll tell you when. Huh? Me? Quite Jersey accent?
We're not hitting record it now because we're gonna vote somebody off.
The island?
Yeah.
We're gonna get the torch.
We're gonna pick.
Everybody pull your torches out. Is that what they say? You have been, or you are not the
You are not the father. No, that's a different show.
And then everybody applauds? No.
No, that's a different show.
And then they put the torch out. Yeah, that's the same show. Great. Fantastic.
You know, Jason has been getting into juicing lately. You guys should ask him about it.
Trying to flip this on me? Did I introduce that last time?
Yeah.
For you? Yeah. Ask Joey how can't you tell, man? Ask Joey how his sherbet production went today.
Experiment.
The man that claims I'm the juicer over here, he was craving sherbet.
Juice. That's sorbet.
Sorbet? Is
A little sorbet action.
wasn't sherbet? I don't know.
It was a flop.
It flopped.
I didn't use the machine correctly.
It was a user.
So now we're
user error.
we're out of sorbet right now.
Yeah. But he
It's basically just frozen fruit and yogurt. So you're making your own froyo, right?
is it froyo?
I
Is that
think
what
it's
you're trying to recreate?
Okay, I was trying to figure that out because the recipe said put vanilla yogurt in the freezer. Does that make it froyo?
Doesn't that make it an acai bowl?
No, acai bowls are acai fruit mashed.
Next time we're gonna go out for ice cream again. I think that would solve it. We'll make it work. We'll try it after this. We'll give it a few more minutes, see who shows up. I would like to see Alicia show up. We'll see. Maybe it's a smaller group tonight. I don't know. Do you guys notice that we now have little tiny tables that can hold our laptops? It's the little things.
No more asleep legs.
Guys,
I know.
big leaps. Big leaps every week. What's going to happen next week?
Yeah, what do we bring in? Yeah, what do we bring in next week?
I would love for there to be like 1 week actually a drastic change. Like we're...
Mm-hmm.
Which one? All the stuff. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just write on the number that we want it to say. He keeps bringing this up.
No, we're close.
Hey, does anybody happen to be interested in any hats? Just curious. I don't know. Just throwing it out. Nope. Okay.
Trace?
Nobody?
No.
I've been waiting months. We like send them out to everybody except him. Everybody on the call had. Yeah. Hey, Josiah, welcome. Got a few more. We're just killing a few minutes here. Waiting to see who shows up. Antagonizing Trace while we do so. You are muted. There it is. Welcome.
Welcome.
You're in Canada as well, yes? Before Christ. British Columbia.
Cool.
Cool. I'm trying to... I'm trying to find you on the map. Because I don't know where anything is geographically.
Is it kind of like the Truman Show where like everybody's life is kind of like a Hallmark movie out there? Is that what happens?
You're so close to being in the U.S. You are literally on the border. You could probably jump the border if you needed to. Just hop on through. Is it like pretty significant the wall or the place what you'd have to get through on the border at all, or is it literally just like you can sneak on through? Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
Crazy.
It's like in jail with those little see-through things with the phone. It's like talking through that. Who else we got on here? Oh, Amy's back. What's up, Amy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Can you? You're on mobile. We'll look weird if you're on mobile. You probably can only see our knees. Interesting.
That's wild.
Okay, you can mute. That'll work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we'll give it one
Shall
more
we?
minute and we'll get rolling at 7:10.
Chelsea, I have to ask you, do you have the Lincoln Brewster Stratocaster? Okay. His is really expensive. It's a bummer that it is so expensive, but
How much is it?
it's like $3,000 almost.
His strap?
Yeah.
The official one?
Yeah, the signature one. Yeah.
Oh, it's like his signature one,
Yeah.
like his.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can be a big nerd with Joey.
Who, me?
Yep, you can bond over that. Brings us back to our dueling electric guitar days.
You're talking about your guitar?
No, the Judson Talent Show in college,
Where we we didn't win.
where we lost. Great times, great times, fantastic. Well, maybe we will dive into it today. We'll make it work. Eleni's gone tonight. She said she was too big of a deal and had to be a
I don't know
a
what she's
panel
doing.
speaker. I think that's what she said. I'll let her watch this back. Oh, I didn't say that. Well, welcome, guys. Hope everybody's having a great week. We might as well start with a few updates before we jump into the Q&A. Number 1, our winner.
We have a winner. So we've been running a little contest to see who can get the most affiliate invites, which, if you guys don't know, each of you has an affiliate link to invite your friends. And if your friend uses your link and they join, then you get 40% of whatever they're paying per month. So we did a little contest to see who could get the most friends to join, and the winner is Alicia Ike. Hey, she found it.
Good
She found the button.
timing on the button. Nice.
Well,
She's not here.
She's not here,
So-
but she is our winner. So we will get in contact
Anticlimactic.
with her. So
Great. Fantastic. That's out of the way. That's the first thing. Second thing, this is actually really, really good news for you guys. We have a new course that has been uploaded to the artist roadmap within the last 30, 40 minutes. It is called How to Fund Your Music Career. This one's been in the works. Aaron, I know we talked about this one a while ago. This has been in the works for a couple months. It basically covers everything and anything about money, guys. The first half is all about learning where all the money streams go to and what you need to do to collect them, what companies you need to set up accounts with and partner with and all that. It's a lot. There's quite a bit of information in there. Take it slow. The second half of this gets into solving a problem that a lot of you guys have talked to us about, which is, okay, guys, like my music, okay, I can set up all this stuff, but it like isn't generating enough income yet to be doing this full-time based off my music. Where can I find more revenue to support my music career? Great question. That's the whole second half, and it's all about funding outside of your direct music. So there are 14 different elements and ideas that we have been putting together, ideas and ways that you guys can generate more revenue. It's going to probably take you a minute to get through this course if you want to go through it, but it is well worth it. So there's that.
there's a lot we can dive into today.
But before we dive into that, because we could potentially chat about what's in there with you guys today.
The entire time. Yeah. And then some.
And then some. But the third thing that I would actually like to get into quick is I would like to talk to that Mr. Aaron Shores guy. Because, bro, your playlist is popping off.
He turned his camera off.
I'm not here. Like changes his name. Oh, dude, I'm stalking you. I absolutely am. No, it's almost 4:30 now. Where did it go? 4:26. Granted that we were talking about that thing only being at like 2:25 by this time. Because we talked last week about this, yeah? So, are you still running the ads? Okay. 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 And are you still streaming it every day? Fantastic. Fantastic. Gio, can you share my screen with the group? That is
That's my
not
screen.
my screen. No, I am. Should be working. Let's try again. Well, maybe you guys don't get to see this. Oh, there we are. Was it just not? It must not have been working. I didn't hear what you said. Somebody said something about talents. Tell me more. To make 10? Ah, you're that guy. We actually know an artist called 10 Talents. A little
We
fun
do.
fact.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out, guys. This is Aaron's playlist. How many of you were on that call a few weeks ago when we talked about cheat playlists and this whole concept? I know, Chelsea, you said this is your first call, so this might be new information if you haven't heard this yet. So this whole concept of cheat playlists, guys, is when a bigger artist relevant to you on Spotify releases an album, you can create a playlist and use these strategies to get followers to the playlist, and then you also have your music on said playlist, and now you get the listeners and the streams and everybody flowing into it. So, yeah, we wanted to point Aaron out here because last week he started running ads as well as growing this playlist, listening to it daily, updating it, and it seems like it's taken off. Aaron, would you say it's growing faster than what you think the ad is generating? Okay. That's really good. Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. So, fantastic.
That's great.
Fantastic. I'm I'm excited to see what happens when you turn the ads off, because I'm genuinely curious if you have triggered the organic algorithm now for pushing followers to here. So over the next week, whenever you do stop it, keep us posted, keep us updated on this, because this is a cool actual work through of what this looks like, guys, to act on this stuff. Again, we haven't yet shown you how to run the Facebook ads that he is running, but this kind of ties into stuff that we were talking about, skill stacking, I think last week. Aaron learning this skill of creating ads on Facebook and running those ads effectively, and then starting to grow playlists, and then adding another skill set of how to do it for free and using these cheap playlist concepts and putting them together. And it's a really effective way to start growing your music. One thing I do want to quick say here, Aaron, is I want to talk about your song order now. So where are you up to date now with Jayco and Shores and Aaron and Katie? Because I know the music doesn't appear under Aaron and Katie now. So that one's just kind of done, right? So Jayco has 2 songs under it, and then this one's you, yes? The other one? This one? Okay. Oh,
We figured out a workaround.
No, there's a workaround. Would you like to hear it? Yes. Go into. You might be able to do this if you Google it, but you have to start an online chat with the Spotify support team, and basically what you can do is I would first send them proof of your Instagram ownership. Even if they... Okay, so start one of those. So basically you're going to have to go create an email for it. Once you have the email, create the Instagram for it, populate it, whatever. And then where it says the website, submit the Instagram handle. If they get back to you and block you there, then what we found is you can go on the back end of the support team directly in the little chat section on that right box. You know how websites in the bottom right-hand corner have like an AI chat tool? And then if you confuse the little AI bot enough, they give you a real person. And what I have actually found is I'll say like, yo, hey, listen up. I'm not sure why I'm not getting access, but here's a screenshot of our last single that we just released from my distributor homepage. You can see the UPC, you can see the ISRC, you can see the name of the distributor website, and that is usually enough proof for them to give it to you. So okay. Okay.
It's been
Okay.
grinding.
But I was gonna say I just did that with Pandora as well, because I was going to claim some more profiles on Pandora, and they were like, hey, the social media for whatever reason wasn't enough. So they asked for a screenshot from the distributor that usually locks it in for you. So for anybody that needs to go claim profiles on any of the streaming platforms, when all else fails, show them screenshots of the song with the UPC, the ISRC, proof you uploaded it, you have access, you own it. And that usually does the trick. Aaron, is there going to be an opportunity for you eventually to get these songs to be co-primaried with Jayco? Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Fantastic.
Cool.
One more thought here. Does Aaron and Katie exist anymore, or did that get changed into Shores? Okay. So
Did you lose your followers?
Well, I only say it because Aaron and Katie still exists as a profile, and the followers are still there. Yeah. I'm just curious if this is going to stay existing on all DSPs Because at that point, I'm like, if that's the case for the songs that currently exist, you could, if you wanted, keep the co-primary thing going because you get 3 co-primaries per song. So
He was having an issue with the and sign, right? Yeah.
That's so frustrating.
That's so annoying.
Avoid the and sign, everybody. If you're gonna put and in your name, we would advise to try to find a way not to. A lot of these distributors, Aaron is going through DistroKid right now, and he's finding that the way that they have it automated with their software, the and represents. It's like starting a new profile as like Aaron and Katie are collaborating on this song, but they're separate artists, and it creates a new profile instead of linking up to Aaron and Katie Shores as the artist that exists. So, a little food for thought there. Last thing that I want to say here before we jump into this, Aaron, I would encourage you now to start getting your songs prioritized in this playlist. Minimum, I would say at least start to get yours at like number 5, number 10, number 15, number 20, number 25, and really start to prioritize those because you're running ads. You might as well capitalize on the traffic. I mean, if you really wanted to, dude, you could take your top J.Co. worship song and make it number 2 on the playlist at this point and just see what type of traffic you're going to get from that. You might as well capitalize on it since you're doing the hard work already.
How many songs are on there right now of theirs?
Well, you've got J.Co. with 1. So definitely get the other J.Co. worship song on there. Looks like you're missing 1. And then Shores, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if there's any more yet. There might be more songs. Yeah, I would get them all. I would load that playlist up with everything. Okay. But the other ones, yeah. Yep. I mean, if you wanted to, you could drop the love song at the very bottom. If you wanted to be like, I'm going to put them all on here. It's up to you. But if you want to keep it genre specific, then you don't have to. Cool. Nice work, dude. That's exciting. That's huge. That's a big move. Anybody who is looking to get their music on more playlists, I would highly encourage you to dive into the call where we talk about cheap playlists. We put that in the Spotify curriculum in the artist roadmap. So that'll give you a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, to tie this, go ahead.
Okay. Yep. Yep. And maybe let that be a reminder to everybody that try to really lock in on your brand or your direction right out of the gate, because when you do try to switch things over or convert an existing artist brand to a different name, these DSPs, they kind of freak out. And oftentimes you'll lose the followers, like on Spotify. Sometimes the profile just keeps existing and then you start the new one. And it's like it can get weird. It can get kind of trippy. So just keep that in mind if you're ever looking to do that. But great. great update.
Yeah, and just to tie this all together, we are teaching you guys how to create your own playlists the same exact way that we do it. And so for some of you guys who are new, we have a playlist pitching feature to where we are offering up our playlists. And if you have any new songs every month, we'll create a new post within school. And then you can basically just drop in a link to your song. And the cool thing about all of this is like, it's really cool to see Aaron's playlist growing. People can pitch their songs, and it's a great, not only a great leverage piece for you to get collabs and things like that, but also provide some goodwill, some value to other people too who are in this group. So,
yep. So just so you're aware, that post will always be pinned at the top of the community section. So basically, if you release a new song in February, you can drop a comment in there. Once it hits March, we're going to get rid of this one. We create a new one. It'll
Start
also
over.
appear at the top. Brand new one. It says March playlist pitch thread, and we give you the formula. So it's a cool way to just get some free value, free support. Again, as you guys start growing your own playlists, this is a great way to make friendships and to exchange value. When we were getting started with this, we made playlists and we probably DM'd hundreds of artists. Maybe some of you remember that. Early on, we were just DMing artists. Hey, if we had your song, can you like make it your artist pick on your profile or give us a shout out on Instagram or like whatever? And it's like that's how a lot of these relationships have started. So that's kind of one of the side benefits of owning a playlist. Yes, you get to grow your music and do all this great stuff, but you also get to leverage that and use that as value to help support another artist or collaborate with another artist or sign up with Submit Hub or one of these companies that you can get paid to review music. Like there's a lot of really cool ways that you can do this. So cool.
it's a good segue into funding.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody, first thing before we dive into anything, do you guys have any pressing questions or ideas, or is anybody working through something right now that they want us to process and help out with? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I can hear you. Yes.
Nailed it.
Welcome, Amy. This is your first call? Visible. Yeah. What kind of difference are we talking? Are you talking editorials specifically? So like the big like Worship Now playlist with all the new worship music from the big artists. Stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about? Got you. Okay. That's a great question. I will answer that. The new songs specifically that we're talking about is for this. Yeah, can you share my screen one more time? For this post right here at the top of the community, February playlist pitch thread. So this is just a free thing that we realized would give a lot of the artists value in here. To make sure that it doesn't get spammed, we make sure that it's just up to date for that month. So it's like, hey, if you had a song drop in February, submit it and we can see, if we can get some just free love on the song for you as a benefit. When it comes to like our marketing services that we offer on the back end, it doesn't matter if a song is new, doesn't matter if a song is old. And even regarding, we'll still push it. And regarding Spotify specifically, guys, Spotify doesn't care if your song is new or old. It cares how much accurate listener data you have given the algorithm and trained the algorithm on the song. So from our experience, what we have found is oftentimes songs that are old that just haven't hit, and you as an artist, you might be feeling like, I guess that wasn't the one, you know? I put in all this time, money, and effort and all this thing, and you spend months and months, half a year, and you get this thing released, and it doesn't do anything. You're like, guess I wasn't the one. Start over, right? And then you go back to the beginning and do it again, and it's pretty disheartening. But what we have learned is that the truth of the matter is it usually doesn't have much to do with the fact if the song was good enough. It has more to do with the fact that the algorithm doesn't know enough about you as an artist, and it didn't get enough data on the song to know what to do with it and who to recommend it to. And we have found that we have gone back to old songs and catalogs that are 7 years old and market that music and start using these strategies. And look at that, the algorithm wakes up. And it used to say 0 with the algorithmic streams, and now it's up to 50% or 40%. And it's starting to come alive again, and people are getting referred the music to recommended. And yeah, there's how many people are on Spotify these days?
Oh, I don't even know what the
was
total
it like
market.
700 million?
It's crazy.
Active monthly users. It's absurd.
Yeah. So going off of what he said, that school post thing is just us just trying to stay organized, but that doesn't mean that you can't market old music. This album right here, this project, Gio, this didn't start hitting until 3 years in. Like the height of this album cycle was 3 years after release. But we fed the algorithm through growing our own playlists, letting that thing live on all of our playlist network. Literally the exact same strategy that Aaron is doing right now with running ads to playlists to grow them.
Yep.
And our music just sat on there for a while. And then all of a sudden the algorithm started hitting 3 years later. So that is living proof of that it doesn't matter.
Yep.
As far as
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say a song technically loses value over time. I think it loses traction because marketing is typically on the front end. You know what I mean? Most marketing campaigns, you're going to push really hard for a few months, and then you kind of like move on to the next thing, and that one kind of gets forgotten about, right? It's kind of like this natural progression. But if you're really intentional with your long-term marketing strategies, why does it ever need to stop? You know, especially. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yep. And that's always going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be this game. I would like to plant this seed in your mind too. The reason that I brought up that there's 700 million monthly users on Spotify is because I'd love to know what percentage of them would love your song and just haven't heard of it and don't know who you are yet. Right? It's got to be what? 0.00000 like 1%.
Yeah.
So the listeners are everywhere. Now it's just like, oh, it's a marketing issue. Number one, yes, it's good to leverage other networks, other playlists. It's the whole reason why we make our playlist network available with our marketing features and things like that, because it does have an impact, yes. But in that scenario, you're always the renter in the building. Does that make sense? So when you stop paying rent and you move out, you don't get to live there anymore. You get removed from playlists. But there's another angle. It's like, okay, what if I could do that, but also learn how to create my own real estate, create my own playlists, which we were just talking about with Aaron, exactly this whole process of, wow, how would I do that? How would I run some ads and create some cheap playlists and learn how to curate correctly that now, wait a second, when my new song isn't new anymore, let's say it's 3 months old, but it's still on there. It's still, new people are finding it. New people are loving it. Cool. Let's do another song. And you start to stack.
I think what happens a lot of time is we get inside of our own heads with, obviously, you write the song, you record the song, you listen to it over and over, get all the revisions, and then go back to it. And then by the end of it, you're like kind of sick of it at that point. And we get in our own heads.
Facts.
No, like we get in our own heads where it's like, this song is so old. I'm so tired of this song.
Yeah.
And then you kind of assume that a lot of people have heard it after it's out. You're like, oh, everybody's heard it. I'm tired of trying to push it on my social medias or whatever. But the reality is, like, even with this album, it's got 100 million streams on it.
To date, like 180.
It's got like 180 million
crazy.
streams on it. But we have to keep reminding ourselves that there are tons of people that are in Christian music, they're Christian music listeners that have not heard that album for the first time yet. And like, that's even with an example of 180 million streams.
And that top song, by the way, to give you some perspective, Amy, at one point, it got added to 100,000 playlists or more. So like we could see actively that month, there's 100,000 playlists this thing's on. But then it might drop down to 70,000. And like, at first we're like, what's happening? You know, it's like, there's still 70,000 people supporting the song, dude. Like, that's crazy. But people will add and remove, right? There's like this season of like summer or winter, like people are adding, people are removing, people are adding, people are removing. So it's this constant game of, okay, well, is there a way to have a strategy that is consistently putting this song in front of new people and giving new people a chance to add the song and thus giving it a little bit more longevity? And like Joey said too, like for example, to go back to this whole concept of like, man, we as artists, we forget how many people haven't heard the music. And because we have been involved with this thing from the very start till the very end, and we have heard every version and every demo and every change and lyric change and like all this stuff, by the time we release it, yeah, we're kind of sick of it. We're kind of over it. And even like with Eleni's album, Eleni and I were talking about this the other week, or maybe a month ago. We spent all of 2025 making an 18-song album, like fine-tooth combing that thing over and over and over and over and over, and just to the point where it's finished now and it's releasing. And in our heads, we're sometimes like, we're over it. Move on. What's the next thing?
I just want it to be out. I'm just glad it's out. Yeah.
But now people are reaching out like, yo, that version of Holy Forever was incredible. What you did there. We're like, oh my gosh, we almost forgot. That is a great song. And I have to like go back and re-listen to the album. Like, oh, this thing slaps. More people need to hear this. Even though me personally, I'm like, dude, I spent like 200 hours on this thing already. I'm over it. But the rest of the world hasn't yet. The stickiness factor is what we call that. %100%. Yeah. And the idea is to try to make a playlist that encompasses as many of your songs and your catalog as possible. There's a reason we make a lot of worship playlists around Elevation, or even like worship music 2026, or maybe worship music for sleeping and relaxing or devotion, stuff like that. Because like 99% of our catalog fits on there because that's what we focus on. So for you, I would challenge you to think through, okay, what are like maybe one, maybe two playlists where I could cover my entire catalog? Ideally one if you can, where everything fits on there. It might be, you kind of have to go listen through the music and figure out the vibe, the move, the energy, the lyrics. Like, do they all line up? Can I make a couple playlists where they all fit? Okay. Yep. Cool. Would it all fall under like Christian music? Because in that sense, she might be able to pull off like a blanket playlist of like Christian music 2026
Yeah, we call those Christian music
mixes.
playlists. Yeah. So it's kind of a catch-all. Yeah.
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 Yeah, because think about it, you're gonna draw that crowd that is interested in that stuff. So if you have a playlist that's like, hey, Christian music mix 2026, new Christian music, and then in the the description section you can break it down like, hey, I've got this type of music and this type of music, this type of music, and it can be a collection of all that music. It's doesn't have to be new, but that's the thing because you can update it every other week with new releases from other artists in the space that are releasing new music. Just because some of your music is on there for a long time that hasn't recently been released doesn't mean yours isn't new. It might be new to the playlist, and it's definitely new to the audience that you're pushing it to. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So to summarize that for you, basically this concept of, I released a song a year ago. It hasn't hit. Can I still market it? Do people still care? Yes. They just don't know that they care yet. We make them care by putting it in front of them and using these strategies, and eventually people start to care.
I think Chelsea had a question before we hopped into Amy's.
Yep.
No,
That's a great.
email
idea.
is always, yeah, it's still a great way to reach your audience directly.
You own it.
Yeah, that list is your audience at the end of the day. So we have some things that we talked about on previous calls about how you can tie in your landing pages for your music and your email list all kind of into one thing. These are kind of newer tools that we've been using and implementing. So I'm trying to figure out which call that was, but the platform is called Feature FM, and we've talked about it on previous calls on recordings, and we've done a walkthrough and like how to set that up. But to answer your question, yes, always your email list is always a great way to continue to build, because you can not only collect emails to email people directly, but you can then, once you have a big enough email list, let's say you have like 10,000 people on your email list, you could take that and you can load that into an ads platform like Facebook or for example, Meta ads, and you can what's called retarget those people. And you could say, hey, Facebook, I have 10,000 people that are fans of me. Go find 1 million more, just like these people. And that's really helpful too, not to go off on a huge tangent, but I don't know if you're familiar with the Meta ads platform at all, but as of like a year ago, they took away all Christian music targeting. So you can't even target other A-list Christian artists anymore. They like wiped every kind of religious targeting. So it just made it a little bit more difficult to find those people. So having a giant email list will help that out a lot by giving some of your audience to Facebook to target.
Some of them are.
Some of them are, yeah.
You have to get creative with it. Yeah, because they've pulled a lot. But I will say this too. Aaron is running ads right now, and he hasn't put anything about Christianity in there at all. The thing that is happening now is basically Facebook has removed so many of the target interests for these ads because now they're wanting their AI to step in and automatically help find the audiences. So what will happen is you'll put up your ad. So for example, if we're making like a Christian playlist, it clearly has Christian music playing and Christian music title and like cover art and all this stuff. So it's very obvious who this is for. And what happens is in the first few days of that ad going, it might cost 60 cents a click. And the algorithm is still trying to figure out who is meant to find this, who's the audience for this. And it's looking for the patterns. But eventually, enough Christian music listeners click on it, convert, and the algorithm starts to tune itself to those people and to focus more on those. And that just starts feeding to itself until, a week in, and now that thing that was 60 cents a conversion is down to like 20 cents, or as Aaron was saying, even 16 cents a conversion. And that's when you found your audience. So that's kind of the new game, the new update. Again, back in the day, we could say, hey, I want the Lauren Daigle fan base to hear this, and I want Toby Mac's fan base to hear this, and I want Elevation. We used to be able to do all that. The rules have changed. They just changed the game. So it's a little bit trickier.
You're thinking about running ads to your email list to grow the email list? Okay. Okay. Have you tried this before, this method, to your email list?
Okay.
Okay.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know with email lists, with my own experience, it might be a little bit difficult to get people to cross over, to spend money to go to the email list. You have to have a pretty good lead magnet,
There it
is what people call it. Are you familiar with lead magnets? Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. Okay. So you do have it. You do have a lead magnet. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. I love to hear how that works out for you.
Exactly. So that's what I was about to dive into. No, you beat me to it. Great. And by the way, I think there's questions and comments. We'll circle back to those right after this, just so you know. We're on those. So this whole concept of Feature FM, have you heard of the platform before at all up until now? Okay. Basically what it is it's a website that creates landing links, right? Pre-save links, all the normal things that like you release a song. Hey, I have the pre-save link that DistroKid made for me. Go pre-save the song, right? The difference is this. Feature FM is like that on steroids. And we've been learning that in the past 3 months, specifically with our album with Eleni and our whole social media strategy that we're doing. Because what we learned is when you set these things up correctly, you can collect, this is pretty wild, you can collect pre-saves, yes, to the song, but then it also gives them an option to future save all your other releases that are coming up. Meaning that next release also gets the pre-saves from the people who clicked future save before. And you start to get a snowball effect. The other beautiful thing is it gives people an option to follow you on Spotify, on Apple, on Amazon. When they agree to future save and do that pre-save, they also agree to follow you. They also agree that that song then gets saved to their library, saved to a playlist. But here's the other thing. It gives them an option to click. You also want the artist to have your email so that they can reach out with you know, that you can get notifications and stuff from this artist. We already have an email list just under like 2,000 from the last 4 months, 3 months. And we're not running ads to grow this right now. Our focus is on our social media strategy of finding content that goes viral. And then we have built a whole different structure in the last 3 months using automations to get people to comment specific words on the posts. So if Eleni, for example, is covering one of her songs, Draw Me Close, and like that's the audio that's playing, the description of that post will say, comment draw or close, and I'll send you DM with the link. And then we have it automated so that when they do that in vast numbers, because this thing is going viral and lots of people are clicking on it, a big amount of people get this thing in their DMs, they go click on it, and then they go to the thing to pre-save it, and they just naturally, because they love the song and like they're there intently, they also give us their email. They also future save it. They also follow. And it's a really cool setup. If you haven't gone through the social media strategy course in the Anthem Artist Roadmap yet, I would highly encourage you to go through there. There's a lot of calls around this strategy explaining what we're doing. We're constantly adding more to it, building it out more. So that's the whole strategy that Aaron was saying. He's like, well, can't you do all of that at once? Technically, yes. Now it's just a matter of where do you want to put your effort? What do you think is the best strategy for you? Because social media also takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, the content, the prep work, and we get into all of that in the course. But if you can get it to work, then it's technically like an ad that you're not paying for when you can get this stuff to convert. Or you could run ads. Or you could do both, right? I mean, the rule is there are no rules at this point. It's whatever works for you. What are your thoughts around that? Oh, 100%. And yeah. Yeah.
100%.
100%. Yes. So once the song releases, the pre-save link automatically converts into what's called a smart link. And now it's just a landing page for them to click on Spotify and it takes them directly to the song, or click on Apple, or click on Amazon, or YouTube, or Deezer, or Tidal, or any of them.
I think the only thing you can't do is the future saves.
Future saves are only there for the pre-save process, because that is when they are like giving the software permission to pre-save this thing for us. That's when they also sneak in the option, hey, would you also like to future save all this other stuff over here? Yeah. So you lose the future save effect, but you can still also have your email in the link for people to fill out if they want that. Again, it's a little trickier when it's not in the pre-save mode, but still valuable. 100%. And think about it like this too. Eleni's album drops in July. So we're pushing really hard for 4 months here to keep sending all this traffic, these pre-saves, right? Capitalize on all this stuff, get the emails up so that we can follow up later and like send them the full email from our end and like do all this really cool stuff. But do you think she's going to want to keep making content for some of these songs after July? Yeah. Yeah, it's like some of these songs are going to be, they're going to be her biggest songs for probably a very, very, very long time, just because of the collaborations and everything that have gone behind them. So she's probably going to be making content. So this strategy, it's still going to keep being used, because what happens when one of those posts goes viral again and this huge wave of audience flows in again? It's like it goes to the DSPs and it triggers the algorithms again, and it's like another wave of benefits. So it's like, does it always have to be new music? It's the same concept where there's 700 million people on Spotify right now. How many of them know who you are and have heard your music? Okay, so like it's new to pretty much everybody. Same thing goes for social media. It's like it's pretty much new to everybody, because these algorithms are not even showing your stuff to most of your followers anymore. So you might as well keep using this for new and old releases. Does that make sense? Any thoughts or questions or ideas?
I think we've got some questions in the chat.
Oh, good call.
How do you keep track of playlists that have added? Oh, that was interesting. Yeah, I saw that earlier. How do you keep track of playlists that have added songs with malicious intent? I'm trying to think
Bots?
what that means.
Are you talking bots? Like botted playlists? Oh, yeah. Okay. Is your mic off?
No, I think she's just busy and
Oh,
listening.
you're busy. Okay, I got you.
So
Jump in.
yeah, so I think what you mean is like, I don't know if you're working with people that might use botted playlists, or people just added your song and you can clearly tell that the playlists, you have no affiliation with them at all, and maybe you could tell that the playlists are botted. Can you keep that chat open, please, Gio?
Songs is flagged for artificial. Oh, okay. Was it That's interesting. Was it through DistroKid? Who's your distributor?
This is a great time to talk about that.
DistroKid.
Yeah, DistroKid. So DistroKid has, every single distributor has its own way of combating streams that get a huge fluctuation in boosting or whatever. And so the higher you go in the distributor tiers, they don't really flag anything. But when you have these distributors that have like millions of users and millions of songs being uploaded all the time, they have to implement some sort of fail-safe. And some of them, like DistroKid, is probably the worst at this. If you have any sort of spike in just normal streams, even if it's normal, it'll flag it as something that is either artificial or botted or whatever. Whereas other playlists, for example, when we've started our artists or whatever from zero or new collectives, and we drop them in our network, and then they get streams overnight through our distributor. We have a higher level distributor. They don't have any sort of like fail safes, and they won't get flagged that way. But any of those like self-serve distributors sometimes have those fail safes.
So I will jump in and say this, just to be very clear. Every playlist in our network that we use to support our music and everything, we don't bot. There's no reason we would do that because all of our own music is on them. So we would be hurting ourselves. So there's zero incentive for us to do that. So I know it's not an issue of like, okay, the playlists that we're getting support on from Anthem are botted. I can guarantee that's not the case. But I will say this because it's gotten better. A year and a half ago, it was really bad. It was the Wild West out here. When Spotify decided to really start cracking down on botted playlists and botted streams and all this stuff, which is great, by the way, because there's some sketchy stuff that a lot of people have gotten away with. So it's gotten better. But the problem is that it's all an algorithm. And it's like ratios. And we actually had some songs falsely flagged. We also had songs that, here's an example. I think Diana actually had one on DistroKid back in the day that is worth talking about. So we're supporting the song with our network. We're giving it good streams and like the right content. And then there was one playlist that was clearly botted that added her song. And we knew it was botted because we were looking at the streaming data. And all of a sudden you started to see these things like, poof, this like abnormal spike. And then like, it doesn't look like it typically does, like an algorithm anymore. It like looked like a shelf. It's like every day, basically the same amount of streams coming from that playlist. And that sucker got flagged and we got a strike from DistroKid because of it. And when we really dove into it, what we found out is like these algorithms, what they're looking for is basically percentages. So when a large enough percentage of your streams are accurate, like are legit, even if somebody tries to bot your song with a playlist, and if it's not a high enough percentage, it just flies under the radar because it doesn't hit that percentage that it's trying to flag it with. That's why a lot of like the biggest artists in the world, what you don't realize is their teams are 100% botting their music. Like they're running huge fake stream campaigns, but their streams that are authentic and real are so big that they dwarf that and they go unnoticed. The problem is as a smaller artist, if you have a smaller following, smaller monthly listeners, smaller streams, smaller data, right, that has acquired under the profile, the algorithm knows less about you, hasn't like validated you quite as much. So when somebody jumps in and you're saying like, they added my song and it jumped to like 800 streams, that's probably way more streams than what you were getting. Like that absolutely breaks that barrier and gets flagged. I would look into that because did you get a strike from DistroKid? Jumped from 200 to 800. Yeah, that's significant. Now, don't get me wrong. That can happen with the algorithms. Like when you train these algorithms properly, it can spike. And that's like actually what we try to do with the algorithms is we're trying to train these things to get things to naturally spike like that. But we're looking to do that organically. I'm curious to see, did they send you the playlist that they flagged it for? Did they even give you a specific thing, or did they just say, nope, artificial streaming, and they don't try to specifically even narrow it down? Because in our case, they sent us the playlist too that looked like it was fake, and we could see and we could like message them. Interesting. Okay. Keep us posted on that.
It's funny because that whole like Spotify has Spotify for artists, and then you have whatever distributor, and both of them are like pointing fingers at each other of like who should take responsibility.
It's like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's Spotify, because Spotify for artists will say something in the banner. I don't know if you got a banner or you got something else from DistroKid, but Spotify will be like, check your distributor, there's something happening, and then they'll point fingers at DistroKid, and then DistroKid will point fingers at Spotify.
Spotify did this, it wasn't
and they're
us.
like, nobody wants to take any responsibility for it. So,
and what happened was it 2024, 2025 when they buckled down on this? What happened was Spotify went to all the distributors and basically said, hey, we've been looking through our data and we're pretty ticked off that how much money we paid out to you guys that was botted and fake that we shouldn't have even paid to you. So this time around, we're cracking down to the point where for every one of those songs that that our algorithm flags as being botted, we're charging you guys $10 a song on the back end, and we're gonna fine you as the distributor. And then the distributor is like, hey, it wasn't our, like, we didn't do it. And then so what the distributor does is passes it along to the artist. So there's been this time where they would take that money, for example, out of the royalties from the artist as a fine for that artist basically botting the music, and the artist's like, I didn't do it. Like, what's going on? And it's basically this game of like, okay, well then if we're not going to fine you, we're just going to remove the music right away because we don't want to be liable for the thing. So it seems like the deal is like, okay, well if we just flag it and remove it, then we don't get fined for the thing. But now the artist is the one that really at the end of the day just gets hit with all the issues. And it all just kind of comes down to this game of Spotify cracking down on everything. Let me read these comments. Yeah, great point, Annie. Great point. Yeah, go into your Spotify for artists, Karen. Go into the playlist section under the songs and just see if you can see which one is at the top. It's usually pretty easy for us to be able to spot that type of stuff if we see it in our accounts, because if a playlist is botting and adding your music, you're going to see like a bunch of playlists that are like similar streaming sizes, and you're usually going to see one at the top that's like cranking off an absurd amount of streams. And usually then you can click on that thing, go find it on Spotify and look through it. You can normally identify if it's sketchy or not. But if you do that, take a screenshot and post it to the community chat for us so we can look at that and talk through it with you. Happy to help. Does anybody have any other thoughts or questions on that? Because that's actually a pretty important topic. That's the first time we had to dive into that. And if not, that's okay too.
I think maybe Chelsea was, I couldn't tell if she was saying something to us or somebody else, but her mic was
No,
muted.
she's talking to her
Okay.
child, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
No, that was a great question, guys. Any other thoughts? We can also pivot, change the subject if anybody else has anything they're currently working through. Anybody but Aaron? He just disappears. What you got, Aaron? You say his name,
You guys are in sync.
pops right back in. They'll get over it. He's like, yeah, sorry, keep going. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you commenting the word, Aaron? Are you commenting the word?
The magic word. The magic words.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get you. We'll find you. Yeah. Yeah. You're talking like a rogue collective that you could create to help comment on everybody's stuff and help trigger the algorithms.
You're trying to create a squad,
I like this.
a marketing squad.
No, it's funny that you bring this up because we have talked about this idea years ago and like legit spent time trying to
I don't
figure
know
out how we
if
could
you
do
saw
this.
my response to his post about this. This was a couple weeks ago.
The Swarm wasn't it originally gonna be called like the
I think we were going to
Swarm
call
or
it
something?
the Swarm. We were trying to like back when we were only doing marketing, we were trying to figure out how do we do something like this to where we have different like almost like accountability groups where you're kind of like almost responsible for looking out for each other on social media where it's like cuz think about like a comment, you click the reshare button, that costs nothing to do. But it's like if you obviously have friends, similar artists that are in your space, it's like it really just takes something to organize it. The reason why we never like flushed it out was because it was going to require other people to do work. And
Yeah.
as a marketing feature, when we were just a marketing company, we couldn't figure out a way to charge for a marketing feature, but also try to figure that out. But with this group, like, I don't see why we can't be resharing or liking or commenting, just being more intentional about that. Like what you're doing already, Aaron, when Eleni stuff pops up on your page or Trace's stuff or whatever.
And this sounds like a Garrett thing too. Yep. 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 Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Thanks, Mom. You could. This is true, actually. Yep. A couple options for you guys. You could do that. If you really wanted to, you could start a massive text thread and add people in and out. Just know that it will be
Group
notifying
chats.
you a lot.
Yeah.
You could start a Telegram channel. I don't know if you've looked into that. You could even start a free Slack group
I don't
if
know
you
if you
wanted
mess
to.
with Slack or Discord.
Discord as well. That's another one.
We actually tried to build the Anthem network in a Discord. It's still
It just wasn't as good.
live somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just
Some lonely person is still waiting for us
Somebody's-
to come back.
so. Yeah.
I would do that because, again, I will say this. The whole point of the Anthem network is like, we've kind of got our lane here, right? We're trying to give you guys all the tools and the information, the education, like everything you need. This type of stuff, hey, more power to you guys. If you can figure out how to crack this thing and get it rolling, and it can be something that you get to run with, awesome. We'll be happy here to like encourage you guys and offer insight and ideas and everything. We just probably don't have a way to incorporate that into the network right now of like a communication type thing without completely disrupting like the community communication.
Yeah, I think for us, like overall, it's a great guideline for us, for our school group to live by, but it would be nice to have something a little bit more tactical or something you can have a core group of people to like keep each other accountable.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested in that, who's watching this,
Hit them up.
DM Aaron. Hit him up in the network. Aaron, feel free to make a post about this in the community section. Anybody who's interested, like it, comment, get that thing up, so everybody sees it. And yeah, whoever wants in, there you go. See what happens.
If we're talking Instagram and TikTok, hitting the reshare button, it won't show up. I guess it'll show up buried in your page,
There's a repost option now.
but
Just don't do the repost. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I love the idea. You're on the, huh? I was going to say,
keep us in the loop.
you're thinking like we think, man. Like you're on the same wavelength as us. So I'd love to see this win if you can crack it. And it's a matter of how many artists you need in there for that thing to become impactful. I don't know.
He's working on another one.
You need the name of the group first. Anna, you really gotta give us a fire name for this. You gotta give him a fire name so he can create.
Her screen's off because she's eating bread right now.
Inside joke. That was actually really funny. If you guys
for those of you who don't know, apparently we posted a clip to our social media of this network call, and Annie was like chowing down on bread, and we posted it on social
kept
media.
zooming in, she zoomed it in on her face.
And none of us caught it that she was eating bread, but it was just funny. So,
Annie the baker.
by the way, if you want a really good, easy way to get your affiliate link out there, take out your phone and take a picture of this grid and then put it on your story and then use your affiliate link and put it in there.
That's true.
Very easy way.
Yeah. Yeah, great idea, Aaron. Keep us posted on how that goes. I'm telling you guys, it only takes one thing. Like there's just one thing. It might be growing playlists, it might be your social media strategy, it might be building your own little network of rogue artists that all want to like crack the system and break the code. You're like, it just takes one of these things and can be a complete game changer. So we'll be cheering you on. Anybody else? Autumn, how's life in the music business side of things going for you?
Sweet.
Like a fly on the wall? Yeah.
Really bad.
It's rough. When you get big enough on DistroKid, I have heard we have experienced that they'll like prioritize you more of like, oh, this artist has 1 million monthly listeners. Here's our custom service that we don't offer to everybody else. It's like they will do that for you, but the conundrum is getting there and running into issues in the process. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
And I do believe they normally give you 3 strikes. And then if they remove the song, you have to pay like $10 to get it back or something. It's kind of a dumb little, like, they kind of nickel dime you. So it's not the end of the world. They'll put it back, but it's a pain in the butt and it's obnoxious. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll if they and Spotify guys has all the data on the back end. So it's very easy for Spotify to look at a playlist and say, "Yo, you're botting this. This isn't real." And it's the same reason like when we have authentic playlists that we're growing everything, we're not concerned about that happening because Spotify has the data on the back end. We can show proof that they're all real. And it's like they're either just ad traffic and real people or cheat playlists and real people. The other thing to keep in mind too is this. Worst case scenario, if DistroKid was being a tool and they were like, nope, 3 strikes and 1, we're removing your music, whatever. If you want, take those same songs, same masters. Exactly, this is what I'm about to say. Take the same UPC codes, ISRC codes, and go and upload them to a different distributor, like a Muse or TuneCore, CD Baby. And you'll... Say that one more time, Autumn. I think we just cut out for a second, right when you were saying the most important part. Yep. In the artist roadmap, we have a category called Staying Organized that we started. There are downloads for a white sheet and a song catalog that song catalog in there. It opens to a Google spreadsheet that you guys can customize and own on your end. Eleni shared that a few weeks ago. So if you don't have something like that, you can use that from scratch to build that out. Great insight here, Autumn. Autumn, for those of you that don't know, where do you work? Like, what's your experience in the music industry? There it is.
She is.
She lives, eats, sleeps, breathes it. Yep. She's got a lot of knowledge built up. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Great share.
We gotta have Autumn in here in person.
Yeah, Autumn, you live like 30 minutes from us.
That'd be fun.
We have another couch. One of these times, we're going to make it happen. That'll be fun. Anybody have any thoughts on that? I know distribution is kind of like this really, it can be a really frustrating thing as you keep leveling up from the start. Just keep in mind, guys, with this whole distribution game, it's always kind of a leverage game of, if I want to break free of the DIY and start to get into partnerships and companies that I could potentially have like really close relationships with, like for example, our distributor now, I have their phone number, I have their text. Like if crap hits a fan, I can call them right now or shoot them a text and like make sure that we get on the thing. Or if I send an email, I know that I hear back basically the next day every single time. And that is like a luxury that we have had to work really hard to get to and like leverage literally our entire catalog and our brands to be able to pull that off. But on our journey, I can tell you what, guys, like we've hit about every snag that you can think of with a distributor, and it can be super, super frustrating. So we can empathize with you there. I would just focus on, again, it's just this leverage game of like, man, the more I can grow my career as a whole and they can see that I'm consistent and the numbers are growing and all this stuff, the more likely it is that, hey, maybe you're willing to have a conversation with me about something exclusive, some exclusive partnership. And, because you're bringing more value to that service, you have more leverage. They're more interested in making something like that happen for you. But, early in the days here, you just got to kind of make it work with, DistroKid, with some of these other platforms.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on that, Adam? In the industry, any other industry news in general? Anything good? Any thoughts or observations? Hmm. Interesting. Man, Anthem Worship's gonna have to put off our hip hop record till
I know,
winter.
we're gonna have to wait till.
And that's surprising. Is it every Friday? Because that's what we've been doing. That's the season. You should share this in a community post. This is fascinating. Interesting.
Otherwise, they gotta wait.
Next year, guys. Sorry.
I believe that.
Yep. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And and it's so simple, guys. Like, it's even a matter of like, release your 10 singles, and on once 9 are out and you have one left, make that one the album for the year. Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we call that the stickiness factor. It's hard for new fans and listeners to stick to a profile that has a few songs and hasn't even hit that 10 song mark to fill out the whole thing, because now they're like, oh, this is cool, but like, I don't know if they're actually doing this like full time, or if I'm going to hear more. Or hmm. Yep. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, that's great.
And going off of that, the long forms that she's talking about, obviously long forms can be more than just music videos, but what we've seen, even like within the artists that we collaborate with, even just like a one shot of you lip syncing over your song, just treating it like how somebody might normally would for a short form, but just like singing through the whole song as a long form, maybe even throwing lyrics up
Slap
next
some
to it.
lyrics, yeah.
Like,
It's super low budget.
it's
Super low
very
budget.
low budget. Like, even if you look at like some of Eleni's stuff, she has a really nice camera, but it's, as far as like camera angles, it's not like a super flashy like music video.
Yeah.
But that's a way to like really get a lot of output on your YouTube long forms if you can have a one shot camera and maybe just have some lyrics next to it, make it look nice, and then go through your whole catalog and make sure your whole catalog is up on YouTube.
Because I will say this from our experience, YouTube very much rewards consistency. So now the issue again becomes, okay, well, music videos are expensive and I have to hire the photographer, the videographer, and like the lyric video, and I don't know how to do this stuff. It's like, if you can create a very affordable way to do a lot of it yourself, to either create some of these skills, or even what we're talking about is just like some of the biggest. Okay, we'll give you an example here, like the Genevieve album. I mean, 23 million streams on. Let me see here. Can I share my screen? This stuff is wild. So Wrong screen. Joey, do you have something to share? So here's a great example, guys. Like, this album is vast approaching like 100 million streams on YouTube, which is wild. So like, Goodness of God, it's a cover, 23 million, like 13 million on Holy Forever. Like these wild things. But if you look at the content of what she put out, guys, it's nothing crazy.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing.
Speaking of
Boo.
LinkedIn,
Got ad.
it heard you on them. So this is it. This is the content. She set up the camera herself. She
Put up some lights.
Clicked the button, performed it.
She's got an AirPod in. She's not even using that mic.
Yep. And this is it. This is what Jen did for the entire album. You're like, what? She's not doing anything flashy, anything crazy. It's all about the song, all about the voice, the performance, and that worked really, really well for her. Will that work perfectly for everybody? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But it's also started to work. You know, we're starting to get some traction with Lenny doing that. It's like you almost don't even have to overthink, like, man, how do I pay for all this huge production and content, all this stuff? It's like, how do I get really consistent on my end first, and then maybe I can, space some more impressive things in as I go. More storytelling, type of content. Clutch, Annie. There it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Spot on. Yeah. Fantastic share on them. Thank you. Who wants a weekly update from Autumn about the industry? Any raise of hands? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Say something, Autumn. We like just push it.
What's the word? What's the word this week?
I don't have anything. Yeah, that's great. Well, honestly, that might be a good spot to wrap it. If nobody else has any other thoughts.
Oh, Andrew Southworth.
Yep. And
Southworth.
do you know what's funny, Autumn? Because I'm on his email list as well, so I'm always keeping up with his updates on marketing and everything. Some of his emails are so good. I'm like, dude, I am tempted to just copy paste this into our Spotify course, just as like an Andrew Southworth section of like gold, of like the insights. So definitely go look at his stuff. I was actually trying to, I had a call with his team like a month or two ago, trying to figure out if we could work out like, I don't know, some sort of like partnership or opportunity for anybody that wants to go take his course or something, to get a discount. Never heard back. So still TBD on that, but he's worth following on YouTube, seeing what he's up to. A lot of good stuff. Well,
I don't think we're going to be able to get to our funding course today, but
and now for the funding course,
for
everybody.
The next 2.5 hours, we will be going over the funding course now. It's all live right now. All of the written form of the funding course is live in
Share my screen.
the roadmap.
Right here. How to fund your music
So we've got
career.
2 categories that this falls into. Money related to music, that could be streaming, publishing, songwriting, sync, and then we have money funding outside of your music, like your 9 to 5 or selling your own courses, starting your own school community, wink, wink, touring, affiliates, influencer stuff. So,
And there might be more, by the way, guys.
there might be more.
Like, we're going to add to this as we keep stumbling upon more, because just tonight we're like, wait a second, I think we have one more that we could have put in.
And if you go through it and you're like, these guys are missing one and they should talk about it,
Let's know.
DM us, let us know, and we'll throw it in there. But yeah, all of the stuff is written out really well, and all we have to do, what we'd like to do is maybe have a discussion through each module, Jason and I, and kind of break it down visually. But for now, you can at least read through it.
Yep.
It's broken down really well if you like reading. And at some point, we'll have to do a normal school call like this, and we'll go through it.
We'll talk through stuff, put the videos in there so you can watch the videos. But again, the whole point of this, guys, is we want to help solve the issue that a lot of you are running into, is the funding. Obviously, I have a passion for doing this music thing long term, my career long term, but wow, everything costs money, right? This world costs money. It's like, okay, let's try to develop some sustainable ways to fund your career, start building this stuff so that you can actually play with this money and put it into your career, right? So hopefully you find a lot of value in this.
So, like I said, the money related to inside your music, as far as streaming, master royalties, publishing royalties, song trust, MLC, that first section, you're definitely just going to want to go through as almost like a checklist and make sure you have accounts for all of these if you don't have them. The funding outside of it, where it starts with the number 1, number 2, number 3, those are options for you guys. Like, you don't have to do every single one, and we honestly don't do every single one of them. So the first half is like kind of a checklist. The second one is more options of how to get more funding outside of your music.
Yeah. And there's a little section with a claim all revenue summary where we walk you through literally everything that we just mentioned above. So you can walk through that. Again, if any of you go through that, or if any of you, like even Autumn, if you're looking at this and you're like, you know, you being specifically deep into the business side of the industry, if you look at anything, be like, man, this is good, but also this, or I would also add this, or here's a new perspective, 100% just like let us know, DM us. We're always trying to make this thing as good as possible. So yeah, I would hit that this week if I were you guys, or in the next few weeks whenever you've got time to start going through that. And is that it? Is that all we got? I think that's
that's all we got today.
Fantastic. We are grateful you all made it. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. You bet, guys.
We got one more. Oh, yeah, sweet, awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah. Anthem Network. Tell about the problems. Get